Hola, clase de Español 2. Ya es tiempo de hacer vocabulario y gramática. Time for some vocab and grammar. Hopefully you guys are having a great start to the new marking period. We have a lot of a lot of vocabulary this week. Not so much on the grammar side, and we do have an extra credit assignment embedded in this too. So stay tuned if you want to check that out. Here we go. Asking for and giving opinions. ¿Crees que? Do you think that? Or do you believe that? En tu opinión. In your opinion. Me parece. It seems to me. Me parece que. It seems to me that. The only difference between these two phrases is that que is a connecting word, which means either which or that or who. So it's a connects it to another clause in the sentence. Para mí means to me or on my part. ¿Qué te parece? What do you think? ¿Te parece que? Do you think that? And again, the that is a connecting word. It means like that or which or something like that. So you would complete that with ¿Te parece que los estudiantes son buenos? Do you think that the students are good? That sort of a sentence. You'll see some examples in a few minutes. Yo creo que. I think that, or I believe that. Aprender de memoria, to memorize. The literal translation, to learn of memory, to memorize. Aprobar means to pass. Now the literal translation, like probar is like to taste or to test. So aprobar is to pass or to take something and not fail it. I don't know how to explain that any better. The general translation is to pass. Apuntar is to take notes. Cometer errores, to commit errors or to make mistakes. Copiar, to copy. El correo electrónico, email. That's how they said email back in 2000 when this book was published. But globally now, email is pretty much referred to as email. So we'll learn el correo electrónico, but you can use the term email pretty much globally, no matter what language you're speaking. Deberias means you should, and debes means you should. They both mean you should do something. There would be some sort of a verb that comes afterwards, but deberias is just a little bit more of a relaxed way of saying so. So in both situations, I could say, deberías estudiar más. You should study more. Or I could say, debes estudiar más. And again, it means you should study more. But deberías is a little softer tone. It's a little bit more informal. El email, kind of like el correo electrónico, of course, is email. Entregar la tarea, to turn in homework. Obviously, entregar is to turn in. La tarea is homework. Es importante, it's important. Hacer preguntas, to ask questions. Hay que means one must. Kind of a weird phrase. If you say, for example, hay que prestar atención, one must pay attention. It's like telling someone to do something. It's like saying that you should do it, but in sort of a more old-fashioned way. So, hay que aprender de memoria todos los verbos. All right, one must learn all of their verbs from memory. Internet is internet, wherever you go in the world. Llegar a tiempo is to arrive on time. Navegar por la red. This is an outdated term too. It literally means to surf the web or to browse on the internet. To navigate the wave. Interesting. Olvidar is to forget. La página web is a web page. Again, a lot of these terms have anglicized over the last decade, so a lot of times, whether you're in Spain or Hong Kong or anywhere in the world, el web page would be a little bit more common. Perder is to lose. Preocuparse is to worry or to be worried. Prestar atención is to pay attention. Repasar is to review. Sacar buenas notas, to get good grades. Salir bien is to go well. So if someone says, todo salió bien, everything went well. Seguir las instrucciones, to follow instructions. Seguir is to follow, las instrucciones, so both generally and literally the same. Almost done. Suspender is to fail. Like, it looks like to suspend, but that's a false cognate. So, suspender un examen would be like to fail an exam. La telaraña mundial is another word for internet or the World Wide Web. Tomar apuntes is, again, to take notes. Another, it's a synonymous phrase with the earlier one. El web, kind of like la telaraña mundial. Very similar ideas. They both refer to the web. Okay, a few sample sentences. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly today. ¿Qué te parece el colegio? Sorry for the glitch that just happened. We had to pause briefly, but we're back on the air now. Let's start over with sample sentences. ¿Qué te parece el colegio? How does the school seem to you? How does high school seem to you? Me parece estupendo. It seems great to me. ¿Te parece que los profesores son difíciles? Do the teachers seem difficult to you? Sí, me parece que son excelentes, pero algunos son un poco difíciles. Yes, they seem excellent, but a few are difficult. ¿Crees que la profesora va a llegar tarde? Do you believe or do you think that the teacher is going to arrive late? No, yo creo que llega pronto. I think he or she, in this case she, will arrive soon. Pronto is soon. En tu opinión, ¿es bueno la nota B? In your opinion, is B a good grade? Sí, para mí es buena nota. Yes, for me, it's a good grade. Deberías tomar historia con el profesor Ramírez. You should take history with Mr. Ramirez. Debes estudiar más para sacar buenas notas. You should study more to get good grades. Hay que trabajar mucho en la clase. One must work a lot in class. Es importante hacer toda la tarea. It's important to do all the work. Homework in this case. It's important to do all the homework. Y ya está. Those are some of your sample sentences. Now, it's funny that we finished up with sample sentences because this kind of brings us to your extra credit for this week. What I would like you to do is put together a series of, it's kind of simple, at least the hope is that it's simple. You're going to give a bit of an advice page. You're going to title it, and underneath it, you are going to write down 5 sentences telling someone what they should do to be successful at something. For example, if you were to title your page, Sacar buenas notas, to get good grades. Or, sacar buenas notas, to get good grades. And underneath it, you would write down, Deberías estudiar mucho. Debes trabajar. Debes hacer toda la tarea. Debes llegar a tiempo. You should arrive on time. Things like that. So what you would do is you would write down a category or goal, and then 5 sentences using either debes or deberías in order to say how to achieve that goal. So title, 5 sentences below. You could do it either on a piece of paper or on a note card. Either one will be perfectly fine, and that is your extra credit for this week too, embedded in the middle of this. Let's go ahead and take a look at this week's grammar. Kind of interesting that this week's grammar also has to do with giving opinions / advice, which is using debes and deberías as grammar points. So here we go. And this is our only slide that we're going to focus on. Nota gramatical, debes and deberías. You've already learned that debes means you should. If you want to give advice in a softer, less direct way, use deberías. Example, debes limpiar tu cuarto. You should clean your room. Deberías limpiar tu cuarto states the same thing, only it's a softer, less direct way. So if you were speaking to someone and you wanted to tell them to do something, but you wanted to ensure that you didn't sound bossy about it, you would definitely use deberías. Another example, debes trabajar más versus deberías trabajar más. You should work more, as opposed to, again, you should work more, but it's more like saying, you might want to consider working more. Sort of a softer, again, less direct tone. So Hope everything is understood well. If anything was too unclear, feel free to jot down a question or two. Give them to me first thing on Monday. Also, if you are doing extra credit, remember that that is due first thing on Monday morning as well. Hopefully all is going well with you. Ciao, hasta luego y adios.